Just when I didn't think you Negroes could get more goofier. Now, I don't know why my hometown, I don't know why Atlanta, Georgia has the propensity to attract some of the weirdest, goofiest. Oh man, I just don't understand what's wrong with y'all. So we got, apparently there's this cult that has popped up, and these are unfortunately black folks. Look like some middle-aged, younger than middle-aged black folks, and they are chanting that Atlanta is Atlantis. And for those of y'all that are familiar with the story, there's a supposedly there was an ancient city. This was all apparently made up by this Greek philosopher named Plato, and they say that the city was this thriving, beautiful city, and for some reason or another, the city fell out of favor with the gods, and the gods flooded the city and covered it up with the ocean or something. It's supposed to be this sunken underwater city that nobody has ever, substantiated to prove it existed. And these Negroes actually believe that Atlanta, Georgia is the lost city of Atlantis, even though Atlantis is supposed to be underwater. If you know anything about the geography of Atlanta, we're not a coastal city. Okay? Georgia is a coastal state. You go 4 hours to the southeast, you got Savannah. You go about 4.5, 5 hours to the southwest, you got the Florida Panhandle, Panama City, something like that. But I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Like, what are y'all smoking?
If you ever thought you believed something stupid, there's a group of people online right now, and people gathering in person, who think that the ancient city of Atlantis was actually in Atlanta, Georgia, and that black people were its inhabitants, and that they're creating an energy vortex by gathering together, and they are going to resummon the spirit of Atlantis.
Atlanta is Atlantis. Atlanta is Atlantis.
Atlanta, current day Atlanta, was built over the capital of Atlantis, nigga. Our ancestors got killed, and then they built their current Atlanta over their dead bodies, nigga. Fuck you mean, nigga? We'll tear Atlanta the fuck up, nigga. You got us fucked up. Nigga, it's our land, and it wasn't called Atlanta, it was Atlantis, nigga. Y'all came and took some shit from us. And Atlanta is on the 33rd parallel, which is why it's the most important city in the country because of the energetic, magical properties that it holds to these elites. This and LA and California because they 33rd parallel cities, nigga. And the pyramids in Egypt sit on the 33rd parallel. Yeah, it get deep. Just like the Kemet, the people of Kemet still exist. They are just on a higher frequency, so they appear not to exist. That's what y'all goofy ass scientists in America don't know, because y'all not tapped in like that. See, that shit is only in our DNA. Y'all don't know that type of shit. I just gave y'all some shit y'all ain't even know. You feel me? Why y'all goofy ass all over there in Egypt, all in the sand and shit.
Ain't nothing worse than a smart dumb nigga.
So y'all, this is why I can't identify as a pro-black, because of Negroes like this. Y'all supposed to be pro-blackity black, black fists in the air, all this goofy crap that y'all be doing. But y'all are literally biting off of a folk tale, a made up story about a made up city. And because Atlanta sounds similar to Atlantis, y'all just want to run with it. Like, y'all can't have jobs. Y'all can't be productive citizens in real life. And people actually are following these people. Like, this is a real cult. It ain't the majority of black people in Atlanta, but it's enough of them to where they have gone viral on the internet. And I don't know where they were. It looked like they might have been on top of Stone Mountain, but I'm not sure, so I'm not going to say whether that's true or not. But remember the Greek philosopher Plato I told you about in the early part of the video, how he claimed that this is what happened to the lost city of Atlantis. And I remember hearing about this when I was like 8 years old, like believing in the Greek god and goddess stuff, Poseidon, the water god, and Athena, the goddess of wisdom, and all these fake gods that they had over there in ancient Greece, right? They had all these, it's called Greek and Roman mythology. Like, it was a real thing, and it's still a real thing to this day. It's just it was made up. Like, y'all are following people who made stuff up. I don't understand what's wrong with y'all. Like this is like believing in the Easter Bunny. This is like believing the Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy at 35 and 40 years old. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, black people, what are we doing? This is outrageous. And these Negroes be getting online acting like they saying something.
Atlanta, Georgia is the capital city of the whole realm of Atlantis. That's why they call it Atlanta, Georgia. Now, when you go look at the longitude, latitude of Atlanta, Georgia, and where it's aligned, you'll see it's on the 33rd parallel. Well, the 33rd parallel, as our ancestors always knew, is where your ley lines come from. The parallels are the veins of the planet. So the planet is alive. Now, if you can understand that, you can understand that this is where they're powering all their energy from. To cast certain spells to keep us in these hexes and these curses and these jinx. Alright? I keep telling you, a lot of us wonder if we so powerful, how the fuck did they take this from us? Well, they did it using spells. And having us curse under curses and hexing us and jinxing us. It's been a war, it's been a magic, it's been a war, it's been a magical war the whole time. They've been using light magic the whole time versus our dark magic. But the dark magic started to dim down the further we became removed from source. So that's the whole point of keeping us away from wit and knowledge.
Okay, I'm going to give you silly Negroes a quick history lesson, and I'm going to go to bed because I have to go to work in the morning. The city of Atlanta has always been a logistical hub. It was the actual, it was the terminus. Atlanta used to be called Terminus, 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 instead of Terminal, Terminus, because this is where the Western Atlantic Railroad used to stop. It was also nicknamed Atlantica Pacifica, you know, west to east, right? And they shortened it to Atlanta. Okay. The city of Atlanta has always been a major logistics hubs, road, rail, and you know, to this day we're a significant hub. And the only reason I said back in the day was because if you know anything about our history, Atlanta was actually burnt to the ground during the Civil War. There was a general named William Tecumseh Sherman out of Ohio, and he said he was going to go on what was called a scorched earth policy, where he was just going to set everything on. He knew Atlanta was a major supply center for the Confederate Army, right? And Atlanta was kind of a hot spot for the Southern troops, the Confederate armies, you know, guns and accoutrements that are needed to fight war. You need food, you need combat boots, you need rifles, you need everything, right? And Sherman knew that, and he was familiar with Georgia. And he went from Atlanta all the way down to Savannah. He was just wrecking shop everywhere he went. He was ripping the railroad up and had his guys tying the railroads around trees. They called them Sherman's neckties. Do a little bit of research and just look at Sherman's March to the Sea. It's quite fascinating. I used to hate history as a black man when I was growing up. I'm like, why we got to learn about all these old dead white guys? And as I got older, it's a good idea to learn about all them old dead white guys, because that kind of tells a story of why things are the way they are now, right? The present and the past are inextricably linked. It's just no way around it. The past shapes the present shapes the future. So no, dodo brains, Atlanta is not Atlantis. Atlantis was never real. But because you silly Negroes want to be so pro-black and you want to act like black people got all this magic and all this power, y'all just get on the internet and say anything. And then you got people, you know, meeting up in real life talking about Atlanta is Atlantis, chanting it. Y'all go look at the story of Jonestown. That was a real cult too, where a bunch of black folks, especially single black mothers, took their kids down to this place in South America called Guyana, a country called Guyana, and they built their little village called Jonestown. And the cult leader Jim Jones had them drink this cyanide-laced Kool-Aid, Flavor Aid, whatever it was called, and they died. All of them killed their own kids, and there was a lot of black single mothers in this cult. Not all black people, but the black female single mothers was the biggest population in this group. It's a real thing. Where do you think the old saying goes, don't drink the Kool-Aid, come from? It came from that. I think it was in like the late 70s. 77, 78, 79. I can't remember what year it was. But yeah. Over 900 people dead because they followed a cult. A white man named Jim Jones. Yeah. Just like the rapper Jim Jones. Google the original Jim Jones. I don't know why Jim Jones gave himself that name. I don't know if he copied him. I don't know. I don't know nothing about Jim Jones' personal life. Why he chose to name himself that. Ain't that great of a rapper anyway. And I think he tried to compare himself to Nas recently. Like, shut up. But not going to ramble on too much more. I just had to let you goofball Negroes know that y'all looking real stupid. Atlanta is not Atlantis. Atlanta is just Atlanta. Okay? Atlanta is a major southern city. We're a major transportation hub. Our founding from then to now is still connected to transportation. We got the world's busiest airport. 75, 85, 20. All those major interstates go all throughout the South. 85 takes you to 95 in Virginia. 95 goes all the way up the East Coast. 95 goes all the way down to South Florida, Miami, right? 20 east and west go to South Carolina to the east, all the way to Texas to the west. 75 go from South Florida all the way up to Michigan, passing through Atlanta. Atlanta is a transportation hub, okay? That's where the name came from, not Atlantis, okay? We're not a coastal city, never have been. The only way Atlanta will become coastal is if God decides to flood like 60% of Georgia and bring the ocean up this way, okay? Until then, we can't be Atlantis, because even if Atlantis did exist, we're not by the water. Y'all Negroes got to stop this. Y'all have to stop. Please stop. And that's all I got to say. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Peace.